What's up, YouTube? Just kidding. All right, welcome to my channel. I'll actually be doing a repair of the Canonet QL17. The Canonet is a wonderful camera. They call it the poor man's Leica, um, which I think it's kind of hilarious. So in this camera, there are two sets of blades. The outer set of blades are the Aperture blades, and right now it's going to its widest position, and you can see the other set of blades behind it. Those are for the shutter, and that is not operating regularly, so it's very finicky. So what I'm going to do is remove the lens and just document that process to help other people out there, because I have not seen too many videos on how to do it. I have looked at a couple of videos that addressed how to repair a stuck blade. So I'm going to be compiling some of that knowledge that I gleaned from these different sources, and hopefully having a more efficient, I'll have a more efficient way of doing things. So thank you for stopping in. All right, so let's take a closer look here. The most common reason why aperture blades and shutter blades do not operate, it usually has to do with the oil that's left over from the edges of the lens, and it slowly makes its way into the blades. Once we get there, you'll see that the oil has kind of sleeked across the blades. Alright, so I'm going to be using this tool here. I purchased it online, and it's particularly helpful for cameras, to be used on cameras. And basically, you put the tip into little grooves on each side of the lens, and then you unscrew it, and you can remove each part of the whole system one by one. So first I'm going to try to get it to the right size. And the way you do that is you loosen the different screws here to adjust to the size that you need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack it from this end. You can access the blades through here. It's a little bit more simple. I think there are just two rings that you have to move past. Right. You see how shiny the blades are? That shows you that they have a lot of oil on them. So what I'm going to do is remove the second lens that's covering it, so I can access the blades. And we're moving it counterclockwise, and you might be able to see now, you can actually kind of just lift it out. And there we go. So now we can look a little bit closer and see the blades, and you can tell that they're kind of shiny. Now this Q-tip has a little bit of lighter fluid, and that's going to be used to remove that oil. You might be able to see it dissipating. And now let's just make sure it'll work at every setting here. At every speed. There we go. All right, so it's still a little bit slow here. So what I'm gathering here is that more oil will need to be removed. I have to make sure that the front of the shutter blades is also saturated with alcohol, because it's not just the back that has oil on it. So now I'm going to see if it was effective. I'm going to check the shutter speed. We're going to start with the fastest shutter speed to see if the shutter blades actually open. 1/500th of a second. Okay, I saw it move. One 250. I saw it move. One 25. Okay. 60. 1/60th of a second. Okay. 1/30th of a second. Okay. 1/15th of a second. Good. So it should be slowing down with each shutter speed. Good. Okay. And finally with bulb. What the heck? Now to reassemble. When you are reassembling the rear element of the camera, of the lens, you want to definitely make sure that the lighter fluid or alcohol that you use to clean the oil has dried, because if it's still wet, then you're going to have some issues. Alright, so when you are putting the lens back together, you should first do it outside of the camera, and also make sure that the curve of the lens is facing up, just like the bottom one that's already facing up. Otherwise, the glass will be grinding against the other glass. And also it'll be too difficult for you to fit the ring back into this larger ring. And the way you can tell that it fits correctly is it won't make a noise when you put it in and shake it. If it's put in incorrectly, what'll happen is you'll hear the sliding between the two pieces of glass. So now you can put in the outer ring and slowly turn it until it gets tighter. And both the lens and the ring are secure. And you can use the spanner tool to get it even tighter if you need. Okay, and now what you want to do is make sure that it's cleaned off. Before you put it back into the camera. And it's best to have the lens lying flat, and then you can use either the spanner tool or a small screwdriver to reposition the rings so they align with the thread. And it's important to be gentle because we don't want to wear down the thread if it's placed incorrectly, and then that'll create a huge problem for you later on. Alright, well, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm so happy to have this guy back. It's such a wonderful camera. It's very beautiful, and a lot of people will just randomly stop you in the street to ask you about the camera, which I love. You know, I love talking about cameras, so and I love shooting with this. So this is finally in working condition, and I can't wait to test it out.